So I'm Frank Y, and I'm 82 years old in a couple of months' time, and I live in Paynton in Devon. Well, let me explain the GP, my GP surgery. It's got 27 doctors in it. It's all on the internet in different bits, and the vast majority of them work part-time, and you never ever see the same GP twice. So when you see them, they've no clue as to what you're doing. I had diverticulitis recently, and when I mentioned it to this doctor, she hadn't read it. She had no idea. They should be dedicated to a certain number of patients so that you know exactly who your GP is. They tell me who the GP is, but I can't remember his name now. But you never see him because you ring up. Well, you don't ring up anymore. They've changed the system again. But you contact them, and the doctor's not on because he's part-time, or she, which I think is absolutely ludicrous. My doctors, I didn't know this until quite recently, they don't work Saturdays, they don't work bank holidays, and they work 9 till 5. They do work over a bit in the evening, but only a bit. That doesn't strike me as being a good health system at all. But the other thing that my GP system has done, only just the last 3 or 4 weeks, is that you can't ring up and ask for the doctor now. Apparently the receptionist will fill in a form which you can also fill in on the internet. So she fills it in, and then somebody decides which doctor might or might not ring you or whatever. So this was a new experience for me to fill in this form. I'm quite experienced on the internet, so it doesn't bother me in that sense. I filled it in, and it instantly came back saying ring 111. I didn't want to ring 111. I'd got a congested chest, not that congested at that point. So I went back and changed the form, and then I saw the doctor, which honestly was a waste of time. Most of my friends around here, most of them are women, and they can't fill in forms on the internet. Now, when I found a doctor before I filled in the form, and I was 5th in the queue, and half an hour later I was 3rd in the queue. And then I put the phone down, and then I went back on the internet and filled the form in. So the GP service, in my view, is dire. And everybody I talk to says pretty much the same thing. The staff worked very hard. The doctor was very good. He explained himself really well and what he was doing. In A&E, some of them were running up and down the place all the time. And I didn't see anybody just sitting down in A&E at all. And I was in there for 12 hours solid. And they kept coming checking on me. They weren't just ignoring me. In fact, I got hold of the senior person in A&E, and I congratulated him on how it was run. And I did the same in the ward, the senior woman in the ward, because you need, when you're at work like that and you're under that sort of stress, you need people to pat you on the back sometimes. So I wasn't just trying to be clever about it. They really, really worked hard. And as I say, 12-hour shifts is appalling. And then the one nurse I was chatting to told me they have to pay £5.50 a day for parking their car. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, employers are supposed to attract employees, and that strikes me as absolutely the opposite. They've got to look at the patient as a customer, and not that they're doing them a favour. NHS is not free. It's free at the point of contact. I paid into the NHS for 40 years and hardly used it. And I pay a lot of tax still because I've got a very good pension, fortunately. And the tax money goes into the NHS. It is not free. We are paying customers. And I think it's important for all of the people involved in the NHS to understand that.